17104 Harrisburg, and 17104.com. Actually, is the way Brother Chris Thomas likes to say it. And I'm so glad that you are joining us again tonight. Jim, it's good to see you, man. It's been a long time. Glad to see you. Yeah. Well, listen, I understand we're going to be joining anybody that's on tonight. Please make sure that you bring your camera on. There you go. And,
hello.
Hey, okay.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Sis, how are you doing?
I'm doing magnificent. Thank you so very much for asking.
Fantastic. Is it possible to put your name on your screen there so we can actually see your name?
Bear with me one second
iPhone.
Here. Does it? Hold on.
It just says iPhone right now. I see Brother Neil Owens. Brother Neil, how you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing, Nate? Great.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Okay, bear with me.
All right. So for the next 3 weeks, we're opening this up to what's called 100 Poets Reading. And so I've invited any and all poets that want to come on, and each person is going to get 5 minutes to read their works, and we're hoping to get over the next 3 weeks 100 poets that will come on and actually read some works. Read a piece of their piece. Ro, so good to see you. If you don't mind, Ro, can you put your name up on your screen
that's what I was doing.
Great. Okay. And Jim, can you put your last name up so people know your last name?
Yeah, hold on. Mm-hmm. Hello, Ro.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Nathaniel. Hi, Ro. It's Hajir.
You made it. I invited Hajir to come.
Hi.
Excellent. Hajir, can you bring your camera up? Well, when you're ready to read, we want you to bring your camera up. You don't have to have it on the whole time. But I won't know if you're there if I don't see you. And I'm trying to get all poets in tonight. Make sure everybody gets a chance. I see now. Let me make sure I got my little reading glasses on here. Sally Jones. This is John. Sally Johns. All right. Sally, where you from?
I'm actually from Arizona, but I've been in Harrisburg for 4 years.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, so glad that you're on tonight. And I hope everybody's prepared to read a little something tonight, We're going to celebrate poetry and do it in a way where everyone gets a chance to participate. Ro Brady is back with us. Can't believe it. So happy. So happy that she's back. Jim, so glad to see my man Jim Rothstein back. Rothstein. Okay. Say it again, last name?
Rothline. Roth as in David Lee, line as in straight.
Gotcha. Rothline, my man.
Yeah.
Good. So we're just going to roll. Hopefully we'll be joined by a number of poets tonight. Some of them said they were coming on. So we'll see. We'll just keep it rolling no matter what. But here's how this is going to work. We'll just simply go from 7 to 9, as we do every Friday night. And we're going to, give each person 5 minutes at least. And if we don't have as many people coming as I'm anticipating, we'll just keep doing a round robin and, just keep it moving. And just have ourselves a good time tonight. So, and Brother Neil, we're not leaving you out, brother. We know you're a novelist, but if you have a little piece you want to throw in there and you got that 5 minute slot too, give you that, man. All right. Neil's an excellent novelist. He got a couple things coming out as is Ro. But we're hoping to, really concentrate on some poetry tonight. So, having said all that, I'm going to get it started. And every time someone reads, I'm going to ask the rest of us to mute ourselves until that person's done. I have my little handy watch here. I'll be keeping the time. And I see a hand up. Yep. Sally?
Okay. Well, I don't have much poetry. I have a book I'm focusing on.
Oh, good. So okay, let's do the book then. Okay. Well, you got 5 minutes to read from your book, okay?
Most definitely. Okay. Living with epilepsy while determined to turn my medical wounds into wisdom. Epilepsy is my wound. I'm determined to heal my wounds naturally with natural herbs via knowledge that I've gained over the last 15 years.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to start with Sally Johns tonight. Sally, it is your turn and you can go.
Okay, I immediately found it much easier to share a few personal painful experiences related to my medical condition after reading one of my favorite quotes by Miss Oprah Winfrey. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Instantly after reading Miss Winfrey's quote, I wanted to help others gain knowledge of natural herbal remedies that I have used for treating my epilepsy and excessive stress-related issues. I understand that no two individuals are exactly alike. Everyone's body reacts differently to natural herbs, prescription medications, therapeutic devices, and stress. 1 second, let me scroll down. I've gained the passion for offering support services to others who may be suffering from the same neurological medical condition, hormonal imbalances, anxiety, or excessive stress disorders that I have suffered in the past. In today's judgmental society, many individuals are embarrassed to open up and talk about their personal health issues, as well as any painful medical conditions they may be living with. Being silent about their health is causing them to privately suffer. I want to encourage others to speak up, ask direct questions, and receive the proper support they deserve. In some communities and families, individuals living with neurological conditions are assumed to be mentally ill, causing some individuals to be bullied, harassed, neglected, or overall mistreated. Everyone's life matters. It takes strength to proudly overlook ignorance. The intentional infliction of emotional distress, I am determined to speak up for those who may not have the courage, strength, or ability to speak up for themselves. Knowledge is power. Individuals would benefit from researching important natural herbs that I will fully discuss in my book. Learning several ways to embrace self-love, gain confidence, and remove negativity from your life is important. After hitting rock bottom, I've gracefully been able to pick myself up, regain confidence, and proudly move forward with my life. I look forward to sharing some benefits of medical herbs, helping others learn more about THC, CBD, ashwagandha to improve neurological medical conditions. In 2007, I began researching epilepsy. Immediately after being diagnosed by an extremely amazing, truly caring neurologist. The amazing neurologist spent a significant amount of time thoroughly reading my long medical report prior to performing a 2-hour and 45-minute brainwave test. The neurologist captured a video of me having a cluster of 3 seizures during the study. After performing the test, I was asked if any doctor had explained to me what epilepsy was. My answer was no. I had been informed by 2 previous primary care physicians, 1 neurologist, and several emergency room physicians that I had seizures. Epilepsy, no one previous doctors had mentioned anything about epilepsy. I knew very little about epilepsy at the particular time of my life. In the 90s, I became familiar with seizures firsthand after witnessing several people have seizures. Bear with me, I have to scroll down, I do apologize. August of 1996, I was a passenger in a car accident, leading to a late post-traumatic seizure, then epilepsy. Research that I've conducted has explained seizures that occur then 1 week after TBI is called late post-traumatic seizure. About 80% of individuals who have this kind of seizure will have another seizure, which can lead to epilepsy. A seizure that occurs 1 week of a TBI is called early post-traumatic seizure, and about 25% of individuals who have an early post-traumatic seizure will more than likely have another seizure months or years later, causing them to have epilepsy. I began to stare into space for a few seconds 3 months after having a concussion, causing me to wake up in the emergency room with extreme body trauma, 2 black eyes, loss of head pain, loss of coordination, and a severe bloody nose that lasted over 72 hours. Bear with me 1 second. I have to scroll down. I do apologize.
Oh, yeah, 1 more minute, okay?
Okay, not a problem. Unfortunately, no one in the local community know how to properly treat my medical condition, causing my health to worsen. Instead of completing a full neurological exam, the hospital decided to release me after 2 imaging tests, a CT and an MRI. Huge mistake on the hospital staff. Either imaging test was able to recognize any head trauma or what root cause of severe bloody nose was. So about 70 to 80% of people who have had TBIs and begin to have seizures are helped by medicine and then can return to most daily activities. And then it'll go on. She said I had 1 minute.
Well, you're down to about 20 seconds now.
Okay, well, thank you all for listening. I do appreciate it.
Well, look, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Tell us how people can get your book.
Well, I'm still in the process of getting it published. And as soon as I'm done, everybody will be able to get it.
Fantastic. Good, good. Well, stay on with us. We'll come back to you, okay? That was
Not a
Sally
problem.
Johns. Thank you, Sally. Appreciate you. Jim Rothline. I'm going to ask you if you can give us your 5 minutes.
All right. Sec here. All right. This one is titled The Elm Street Song of J. Edward Stearns. Nightmare thoughts never to return. Nightmare thoughts that never left. And lamplight beneath a basket, hidden. My mirror-side self stares back, Dorian Gray and Medusa under Arctic mornings forever midnight in these days of solar eclipse skies. Peace fled far, in my mind a war of northern aggression, as outside a cane is swinging down hard, ego and arm, bruised, while I fear her behind my barricade. Cyrano wearing the phantom's mask, catacomb heartstrings, with the face of a nine-circle soul whisper wooing as Roxanne, affection as hemlock in a paper cup. Drink, Socrates, drink. Actors upon this terrestrial theater, entering stage right, exiting stage left, each and every performing their parts perfect, except for Yurk, dead before you knew him. Curse me for this and other Nazi war crimes, laughter and jests, one man's pleasure and another man's sorrow. I survived, she did not. Evening sojourns in solitude's isolation, his dreams, the stuff of men bereft of living, hand-holding, the empty air, her body forever distant as east from west and as present as tomorrow. North Atlantic voyages in a rowboat, facing the Titanic iceberg and German submarines, specters of an uncertain future seen through these Death Valley eyes. And when it ends, where do I go from there? End of poem.
Still have some time left. Did you want to use it or no?
No, because I don't know how much time I have left, but if there's opportunity, I have two others for later.
Well, do at least one more. You have about 2 minutes.
Okay. The city where I love you. Your heart is the city where I love you, a beacon light upon a mountainside of fire and moonlight blazing in the dark. In the kingdom of dreams, I dream of you, meadow and sunshine in your Juliet eyes, Cyrano waxing poetic below your balcony. Visions from sleep-filled lands and fade. Reality rules the realm where I find you, on the hill of the city that is your heart. And so I ask to ascend the pilgrim road to see you, and greet your faraway face with a first kiss that lingers through our years. End of piece.
Jim, how can people get your book of poetry, and how many books of poetry do you have?
I have 4 out right now. They're available online through Amazon, Books A Million, Walmart, Barnes and Noble.
Give us the title of at least 1 or 2.
My last one was Writing with Scissors, and the one before that was Letters to Roxanne.
Very good. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you, man. Stay tuned. We'll get back to you, okay?
All right.
All right. So let me go over. I think, Neil, you were kind of up there, and then I'm going to go to Ro and then to Sister. And let me make sure I got this right. Is it Laura? Okay. All right. Good to see you all. So I'll do
Ro can go ahead.
5 minutes.
Ro can
Someone
go.
else can go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go with Ro and then go with, should I come back to you or go with Laura?
Good, Dar.
Okay, real good. I'll go with Ro, Laura, and then we'll go back to Neil. All right, Ro.
Okay, this one's called For the Love of a Good Woman. For the love of a good woman. She's staying not because of you. It's her way to see it all through. She won't leave you in a bind. No true lover will you find. She's the kind of woman that will love you through thick and thin. She sees your indiscretions and your sins, but she will still remain your friend. In those moments when you are still not sure of which decision to make, she will never emasculate you for her own sake. She'll take you seriously when you're talking smack. She's the mama to your babies, loving them with a firm, stern hand. She stands behind and beside you, being your biggest fan. She'll stand up for you because you are her man. What does she want? She needs to know that you are all for her. You'll see her through her pain and you won't see her as a strain. She wants to know that you'll show her the respect that is due. She's not your plaything. She ain't about giving you all her money. So you best have a plan so you can put something into the pot of prosperity so that you can both stir it together. This is the love of a good woman. Loving her is not for the faint of heart. It's a lifetime commitment. Her love is deep. The price you pay is steep. It's worth your while. She won't cramp your style, causing you to fall or stumble, because this is the love of a good woman.
Good stuff. You have more time.
Okay, I'll do one more. This one's called Awkward. She said it was so awkward. Wasn't it awkward not to acknowledge my humanistic manner, standing right in front of you in that tiny little box? Could you feel my presence pressing in on your presence, pressing in on the universe's presence? The oppression was deep, surreal, and intensively inhuman. The weirdness of it all can cause our consciousness awareness to shut down to a point of no return. This hatred is pulling tiny bits and pieces away from what you perceive is a protective covering of sanity. It's all so blatantly insane. It's just a simple little word, not too many syllables to utter, not too much wear and tear on the cerebral cortex. It can all be done and over with in just a blink of a millisecond. It's been occurring between the races for centuries. Men and women have whispered it in dark caverns between pursed lips. It's a feel-good kind of thing that leaves you all warm and fuzzy, if done with a sweet gesture. I know you can do it. Let's give it a try. No pressure here. We who do it frequently will give those novel individuals their breathing room for their first attempt. We will even applaud you on, perhaps even a standing ovation will occur. Wait for it. Hello.
So, Ro, tell us where people can buy your poetry books.
Sure. I'm the author of 10 books, but I do have one poetry book. It's called Fried Okra and Green Tomato Poetry, and you can find it on Amazon. You can buy it personally from me from robraddyproductions.com. You can find it in Barnes and Nobles, Kobo, Apple, all the places where books are sold.
Fantastic. That's good. Thank you, Ro. Stay tuned. We'll come back to you. Okay.
Okay.
Miss Laura, how are you? And so welcome to the Writers Workshop.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. And you have 5 minutes.
All right. Thank you very much. My first poem is coming from my published book that is called A Grown Woman's Experience. I've laughed, I've cried, felt insanity take over my mind. I've been happy, I've been sad, been through good, and I've been through bad. I've been loved and I've been hated, felt joy, been elated, felt cheated, felt blessed, felt nowhere in between. But these are my experiences. Oh yeah, this is me. I've been single, I've been married, been better, I've been worse, felt trapped and freed, and felt a little off course. I've been hurt, I've been healed, I've been taught not to feel. I've been up, I've been down. Experiences are taking me to all things past, entrenching in my soul the only thing that lasts. Felt a lot of emotions all at the same time. Felt God with me, felt him gone, been saved and I've been a sinner. But look inside and see my inner experiences. My second poem, coming from the same book, A Grown Woman's Experience, entitled Mama's Blues. I feel like a failure as a mother sometimes. It's like me and my daughter are not speaking the same rhyme. I push, she pulls, and creating such a negative tension. Hard stresses that she puts on me beyond my comprehension. I get so angry and even sad when this child does not listen, trying to save her from the hard knocks that I've already been in. I'm trying to make her better than me, greater than me, a woman of power. She refuses to hear when I speak softly, but gets angry when I speak louder. She gets mad and indignant and uses sarcastic phrases, make me want to get a switch and beat her out of these teenage phases. I got the mama's blues in my heart real strong. The kind that wants to kick her out even though I feel it's wrong. She's just like her daddy who refused to listen just to good reason. Rejected and resented me, took his manful for treason. But I got the mama's blues. I get so heavy, I can't even speak. I feel like giving up, stop trying and let her roll down Fool's Creek. I see her struggle in her future, pain in her days, if she don't change her hard-headed daddy ways. Not saying I'm perfect or even that I'm better than, but I use a lot of common sense in my well thought out plans. I keep praying that God give me strength every day to help me through these mama blues and love this child anyway. Despite her disrespect, ungratefulness, and the I know it all attitude, I take a deep breath, count to 10, and reset my fortitude. Because it will take all of my might and faith in God to do what I have to do to overcome this battle and win the fight against this unyielding mama's blues. Thank you.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about how your book and how we can find your works.
The book is called A Grown Woman's Experience, and you can find it on Amazon and on my website, thegrownwomansexperiences.com. This is the first of 4 books I am in the process of writing. If we have time, I'll read 3 other poems from the other books that are soon to be published.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Laura. Appreciate you. Please stay tuned. We'll get back to you. I'm going to turn to Brother Neil Owens now. And Neil, you have 5 minutes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to read from one of my short stories from the soon to be released. I'm not sure when I'm going to release it. The Storyteller. The name of this short story is The Prophet. It's a apocalyptic tale. Stores were bleeding into the light gray sky as a raucous crowd with raised fists repeatedly shouted death to the fascist government. On the other side of the 2-lane highway, an elderly woman in flannel pajamas was standing on the front porch, peering at the dark smoke stretching towards the clouds. A teen, seemingly avoiding the raucous crowd, was crossing the street when rapid gunfire greeted the wailing siren. He yelled at the elderly woman, "Get inside!" She didn't move. Her eyes stared upward as if she was looking at something invisible to others. "Lady, get inside!" The teen shouted as he sprinted toward her, dodging bullets whizzing past his ears. But she continued to stare upward as if the sound around her didn't exist. The teen grabbed her arm, swung open the screen door, and yanked her frail body to the floor. "Stay down," he said as the sound of shattering glass surrounded him. He quickly crawled and closed the door that was welcoming stray bullets. Stretched on his stomach, he turned and said, "Are you hurt?" She didn't answer and attempted to stand. He quickly gripped her arms and yanked her back to the floor. "It's not safe to stand." She scowled. "Let go of me. I'm not afraid to die." He removed his grip. She quickly stood and looked outside the bullet-riddled front window. Her eyes stressed at the body sprawled along the highway. Without turning away from the carnage, she said, "The prophet told us not to be rioters, but some are using his death as an opportunity to loot. Are you one of them?" The teen stood and said, "No, ma'am. I was on the bus when a mob blocked the road and attacked the driver because he was white. I'm just trying to get home. She closed the curtains and turned to face him. What's your name? Jermaine. Yours? Marilyn. Nice to meet you, Marilyn. You believe in that prophet? I do. You don't? No. But my mother does. I'm shocked to meet a white person who believes in a black prophet. Seemingly irked, she replied, I believe in God, and God has the face of every race. Have you heard the prophet speak? A little on television, but I don't believe that crap. Do you believe in God? Yeah, I just don't believe in preachers. They all about money. Not the prophet. He didn't own a house or a car. So what did he do with his money? He fed the hungry, cared for the elderly, and housed the homeless. Rapid Knuckles interrupted. Police, open up. Marilyn saw fear in Jermaine's eyes and whispered, hide here. Louder Knuckles' voice. This is the police. Open up. Marilyn shouted, I'm coming. Hold your horses. When she opened the door, the two white officers had their guns drawn, and one said, looks like a lot of bullets entered your house. Are you okay? I'm okay. God protects me. The lead officer's nose and forehead scrunched upward. He flashed sideward eyes at his partner, shifted his eyes to Marilyn and said, Miss, we are looking for riders. Do you mind if we look around and see if any of them might have sneaked in? No, I don't mind, but I'm the only one here. The lead officer ignored and entered with his gun pointed. He slowly stepped around the lavish ranch-style home as the other officer stood inside and scanned from his stationary position with her pointed weapon. The lead officer asked, can I check out the basement? Marilyn briefly hesitated before she said yes. The officer's suspicion seemed to rise and he signaled his partner. But when they positioned themselves to enter the basement, a distress call came over the radio. I'm gonna stop there.
Okay. That's where people can buy in your books or in the title?
But the title of that is The Storyteller, and I haven't released that one yet. But my other books, novels, Mirrors of Life and Mirrors of Life Part 2 are available wherever books are sold.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate you. So is there anyone else that's on that's not, we don't see you on camera yet? Is there anybody that you're going to make yourself known? If not, we are good. So we had Sally, Jim, Roe, Laura, and Neil all read today, and this is good. And we're going to do a round robin again. Okay, all right. Sister coming on.
Hey, Reverend Gadsden, I'm here. This is Queenie.
Hey, Queenie, how you doing? All right. Did you want to come on?
Not tonight.
You say not tonight? Well, listen, I want to thank helping get the word out and everything. Tell us something good real quick. What you got going on?
I'm just here to support. I'm actually babysitting right now.
Oh, okay, I got that. Okay, all right. Well, so glad you're here. And
I will go on that,
yes.
Nathan.
Thank you.
Miss Hajir. Yes. Well, this is still a work in progress. Ro actually is working with me on my second book. I published my memoir.
Excellent.
And I'm just going to read a little bit. My memoir was published in 2019, and we're working on a book that's going to be published in 2024.
Okay, let me just say this real quick. You have 5 minutes like everyone else, okay?
All right, sure.
All right.
So I will just read a little bit of a poem.
Excellent.
All right, let me start from, sorry. All right, it is my version of home. I'm a torture survivor and a refugee. So this is just a small part of the poem. I still smell my blood scent, lingers remnant of torture. Whiplashes burn my flesh, forced to stand, my oppressor revel in cruel delight, beating, hurting, mocking, prolonging the endless night. My body scarred, wounded by relentless fights, but through it all I tried to hold on to the flicker of life, the flicker of that light, the light at the end of the tunnel. In the darkness, I tried to find hope and a new beginning beneath foreign skies. I fled from home, I left the familiar. No choice remains but to seek refuge, a chance to renew, rebuild shattered dreams, heal the wounds old and new, and leave behind the horror, the misery, but also leave my loved ones and my cherished memories. And in the back of my mind, I knew no one leave home without a cause unless home breed despair. When known walls become prisons, the soul cannot bear with the strength as my canvas. I braved the great unknown. I left the chains that bounds to reclaim my own. The unknown shine brighter than the known. Rape, torture, denial of rights was our reality. No other choice but to seek refuge, to find clarity. No one leave home without a cause unless home bring only pain. When the known become torture, survival becomes my only gain. With courage as my compass, I step into the unknown, found the strength to flee, left behind the only place I called home, and set my spirit free, becoming a refugee, starting a new time and time again. In my veins flows the spirit of those who came before me, and with that in mind, I triumph through my tragedy. I found my unity because united as one we rise and rejoice, for in our shared struggles, strengths will arise and a new beginning will dawn beneath foreign skies. We are still working on this, and it's still, painful to read, but I'm working through it.
Beautiful, wonderful,
And it's,
wonderful.
yeah.
Appreciate it. So, and do you have hopes to have it published soon, or any idea when you might?
Well, it's going to be part of the my second book.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, it's going to be published soon in 2024.
Tell us about your first book. How can people get a hold of that?
It's Through Tragedy and Triumph, and you can buy it anywhere where books are sold: Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Nobles, and
Wonderful.
yeah, if you just search Through Tragedy and Triumph, a life well traveled.
Real good. Okay, I'm gonna keep you up for a minute here, and we'll just backtrack. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Take 30 minutes. 30 minutes, 30 seconds to a minute, and just tell us a little bit about your writing. Where you live, where you're from, the city that you're in, whatever.
Okay, my name is Hajir El Sheikh. I live in Mechanicsburg, and before that I lived in Harrisburg. I am originally from Sudan. I was the spokesperson for the Democratic Party in Sudan, human right activist, torture survivor, and I was helped by the UN to lead the country of Sudan. Went to Egypt, and from there I got settled in Philadelphia in 2001. For 3 months, and then I moved to Harrisburg. So I've been in Harrisburg since December of 2001.
All right. Well, Hajir, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we're going to get back to you. Hope you can stay on.
Thank you.
Ask, Neil, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the folks who haven't met you yet, and where you're from and all that good stuff.
Okay. Born and raised in Washington, D.C. And currently now live in High Point, North Carolina. Spent 33 years basically working with at-risk youth and families, and decided to spend my twilight years becoming a writer to fulfill a dream I had. I just ignored it. So I decided to go ahead and write a novel, and I was blessed to win several awards for my debut novel, and Mirrors of Life, and then I released Mirrors of Life Part 2, Fight for Political Power. And I am currently on hold with the storyteller. It's ready to go. I just spiritually, something is just not letting me release it yet. And
Okay.
so I'm currently working on the rise and fall of the fourth right.
Fantastic. Thank you for being on tonight, man. As always. Laura, can you introduce yourself? Take a minute or so.
Thank you. Try to get off of mute. I do have a quick question. Neil, are you saying Mirrors of Life is your book or Miracle?
Mirrors of life, like
Okay,
the mirrors.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to take note of that. Thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Laura T. Sutton, and I have been writing since I've known myself. And this is my first opportunity in the last 2 to 3 years to really focus on my writing and finally getting a work published. I reside right now in Columbia, South Carolina, but I was born here, however, raised in Boston, Massachusetts. And I am really, really excited about the next 3 books that I am preparing to write. One of them is Skin Color Black, and the other one is Grown Up. The first one was Grown Woman. Now the second one will be Grown Up. And then the third one will be Skin Color Black. And the fourth one, I'll leave that without the title at the moment. But I am excited about the works that I'm putting together. I have numerous already written poems. It's just I'm working with a publisher now to kind of get them all ready and to publish them in the next year. And that is pretty much me. I'm a member of Toastmasters International, and I'm just working on my speaking ability and how I present my poems, and looking forward to a greater platform. And thank you, Ms. Queenie, for providing this platform for this evening. Thank you.
All right. Well, welcome. I love that. I've been writing as long as I've known myself. I like that line. I have to use that. That's great. Well, thank you, Laura. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, Sister Queenie. Also, let me see here. It says someone is in the chat waiting to get in. Okay, Queenie. Brother Chris, can you let the person in, please? I'd appreciate that. Yeah. Real good. And Sister, let me see, Sister Ro, can you introduce yourself then?
Sure. My name is Ro Brady. Originally, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I've been in Harrisburg, probably close to 35 years now. I am a semi-retired teacher. I've written 9 books, won 6 literary awards. I'm also a playwright. I have written, produced 3 community theater plays. I've directed several community theater plays, and I ghostwrite, and I also edit.
Indeed. I appreciate you, Ro. And recently come back home. I like that. Thank you.
Yes. I was living in Washington, D.C. for a while.
Yeah. Good stuff. Appreciate you. Jim, can you introduce yourself?
All right. Jim Rothline. I'm currently residing in Middletown, Pennsylvania. I have been writing for about 27 years in earnest. And as of 2018, I've been putting books out. And I have the manuscript for my 5th. I'm just taking my time for finding a new publisher.
Okay, very good. Appreciate you being back, man. It's been a while. Thank you, Jim. I understand it was, also Sally Johns. Yes, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, I'm Sally Johns. I live in Harrisburg. I'm actually from the West Coast. I've been here almost 4 years, and this is actually my first book. I was asked by a doctor to write a book in 2007, but I went ahead and started it. So it's getting ready to get published.
All right, very good.
That's what I'm going through now.
From the West Coast, what part of the West Coast?
I lived in northern Arizona, that is Flagstaff. I've also lived in Nevada, and I did southern Arizona for a little bit, but my family, my dad's side is from here. They've been trying to get me here for over 25 years. So I finally listened and come on out here.
Came to the big city, I got you. That's all right. Well, I'm so glad you did come on. I hope this won't be your last time, up to everybody. I hope that you will continue to come on. And, I gotta acknowledge, I know she's babysitting, but we gotta acknowledge Queenie Clem, who does so much for so many writers across the country. Queenie, can you introduce yourself for those who don't know you?
Okay, I'm Queenie Clem. I'm from South Carolina, and I have been promoting authors for over 15 years, and I'm happy to be here and support.
Appreciate you, absolutely. And anytime you want to jump in and tell us a little bit about any of your upcoming, platforms, let us know, okay? Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And so, all
Let me
right.
just say, Queenie does a great job in promoting authors.
Yes, she does. Yes,
So
she
you
does.
definitely, if you are looking for some promotion, definitely check her out. Get in touch with her.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, my
I'm
brother.
in.
Hey, fantastic. She made it. All right.
I'm in here.
All right. And I'm looking at Listen Linda. Is that what I'm seeing?
That's me. That's me.
All
How
right,
y'all?
all right. Well, welcome to the party. We'll get to you in just 1 second. I'm so glad you made it in, though. Heard you've been waiting for a
Thank
while.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
So listen, brother Chris Thomas, can I indulge you to just introduce yourself real quick for everyone who doesn't know you and the platform that you're providing for us?
Sure, my apologies. Actually, I got a mouthful of ice cream, but as soon as I swallow that bite, actually, I'm just Chris Thomas, social media influencer. We actually created a wonderful community-based platform to host podcasts and disseminate information, not just locally, but also to the world abroad. That can be found on every social media platform under the Voice 17104. Actually, we're full-time ministers of the gospel as well, life coaches, mentors, and we're just happy to be here hosting the program tonight.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I appreciate everything you do, my brother. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing.
Can I say hi to Chris?
Hey, Hajir, God bless you.
Okay,
Hi, darling. How are you?
All is well. It's good to see you.
fantastic. Well, we've been joined by Listen Linda, and that's what that's your full name. That's what you go by.
You know what? My name is Jacqueline Cox, but Listen Linda is the name of the podcast that I host. Hey,
Okay.
Ro. Hey, Miss Queenie. Hello, everybody. It's a global podcast. It's heard in 10 different countries. It's on 40 different platforms. It's called Listen Linda, hosted by Jacqueline Cox, and it's a women empowerment platform where I bring people of all genres, authors who have books, businesses, or brands, and help them promote their brand, as well as we also do life coaching and different things like that on my platforms. And then I also incorporate music along with the book. So it's a pretty interesting podcast, but it's faith-based podcast. And I come on every Thursday, but I also have authors who come on whatever day and time that works for them. And I do my best to help to promote them and what they're doing. So
Fantastic. That's great. I'm so glad. Thank you. We need more people who understand that, each one reach one and give one, So thank you
yes.
for being an influencer and a creator. Now,
And thank you, Miss Queenie, for inviting me.
all right. Thank you, Sister Queenie. Now, question for you, is it only women? Is that what I heard you say on your platform?
I love all God's people, but I feel like women, we don't really have a lot of platforms like men do. So I really I do tend to focus mainly 100% on women. But I love everybody. But I love my women, especially my women of color. That's mainly who my target audience is, and that's who my target guests are, women of color. So
well, listen, Linda, you got to create a platform for me too. All right. Okay. Now I'm just God bless you for what you're doing, sister. That's good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
So listen, did you want to share some of your writings with us? You got 5 minutes to do so? Okay.
Yes, but it's in my phone. So if I go out, my apologies. Okay, but I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You got it.
All right. And this is from my upcoming memoir, Mountains Can't Rise Without Earthquakes. It's already a bestseller. Okay. And it ain't even out yet. It comes out on December the 15th. And it's a memoir about my life, but I've also incorporated poetry as well. So I'm going to read you guys an excerpt from that.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. And this one is called Chico and Red Flags. And Chico is my dad. China is my mom. So just to give you guys a update or kind of like a background about who Chico is.
Okay.
In a heart of Pilsen, a spirit unique. Chico, a man of strength and mystique. Born from pain, a product of strife, his story is a tapestry of resilience and life. A biracial child, a product of despair. His mother's heartache was too heavy to bear. Conceived in the darkness, a cruel twist of fate, Chico carried the burden, the mark of his state. Little village, the streets where he roamed, a soul seeking solace, a place he called home. The youngest of 15, always pushed aside. Isolation was his companion, his spirit never denied. In the shadows of prejudice, he found his disguise, passing for Latino, blackness in his eyes. The gang was his family, he saw refuge there. A bond forged in struggle, a connection so rare. Then fate brought him China, a kindred soul. Two wounded hearts, trauma took its toll. A marriage born of pain, destined to fray, yet intertwined they remain, come what may. Chico, a man of depth, his character strong, with scars that whispered of battles never gone. Maya Angelou's spirit, a guide for his way, his words danced like poetry, night and day. But in every hardship, he found a way to push through. But in those dark times was a man I never knew. He had a spirit inside that only the Lord could handle, battling demons and leaving victims dismantled. Chico's story needs to be told because it's true. For all the single fathers who may understand, read this chapter and find out what not to do.
All right.
And that's it.
Good stuff. You have some more time if you want to give us another piece of that.
Oh yeah, I can read. It's actually the beginning of the chapter for him.
Okay.
Chico in China, the beginning of an era. And era is spelled ERROR. So you guys can kind of know. China's my mom. China was released from the holding cell that Monday night without having to pay any bail. The judge dismissed the charges and ordered her to complete some community service and undergo a few days of outpatient treatment in Narcotics Anonymous program. It was around 9 p.m. when she was released, and neither Tessa nor anyone else was there to pick her up. Why would they leave me hanging like this, knowing these crazy Latino don't like people like me? China thought as she walked to the bus stop. Suddenly, she heard a group of girls approaching her. China's instincts kicked in, and she bolted for the nearest gas station, outpacing the girls. The gas station was owned by Chico, who was just pulling up at Pump 6 when he noticed the commotion. I hope these stupid girls ain't bringing no trouble to my place, he muttered. China tried to get inside the gas station, but the door was locked. The employees inside looked too timid to help, so she knew she had to defend herself. She picked up bricks and hurled them at the girls approaching her. Wait, don't hurt nobody, Chico yelled from his pump, both amused and impressed by how China was holding her own. Suddenly, one of the girls put out a blade and charged at China. She was too busy fighting the other girls to notice. Seeing this, Chico drove his car into the crowd, causing them to scatter. All except the girl with the blade, who's determined to prove a point. If you pull a blade on me, B, you better kill. I can't say what I said. But B, you better kill me, China yelled, lunging at the girl like lightning. In a blink, she had disarmed the girl and was fighting her off. Chico jumped out of his car to intervene despite his girlfriend's protests. As he reached China, the police arrived. His girlfriend jumped out the car and ran off. Both Chico and China raised their hands in surrender, locking eyes and echoing each other's sentiments. Oh, hell no. That's it.
I appreciate it. Very good. Thank you. So tell us, how can people get your books again? And how can someone pick up your work?
You know what? Actually, my book is available for pre-order on Amazon right now for 99 cents. And it's called Mountains Can't Rise Without Earthquakes.
All right.
And it's a memoir about my life, and it tells the tale of my mom, my dad, how they grew up in Chicago, in the urban areas, and how they met, and me, and what went on with all of that. It deals with some trauma I went through, childhood abandonment, them being on drugs. My mama ended up, being a woman of the night, and just like all of that transpired, and how I overcame domestic violence and sexual abuse and molestation and all of that. So I told my life story in there, and it's pretty intense. So trigger warnings all throughout the book, but it was a pretty good book. It's a pretty good book. And it's available right now for 99 cents, the Kindle book, and it'll be available on the 15th of December.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. So listen, I'm going to ask Brother Chris. He does something for us every, week that he comes on. He brings on some outstanding, videos of poets reading. And I'm going to take a little break here and have him, if he has one up, to, give us a sample of that. And then we'll come back to the poets reading.
A teenage girl had her plans reconstructed, her life interrupted when she was entrusted with something beyond our human measure, a treasure that was temporarily buried within her. Society would have classed her a sinner, but God's purpose for people was immaculate and bigger. This gold was something the Grinch could never steal. There wasn't lights on the trees and the smell of chestnuts in the breeze the night before Christmas was revealed. More like a journey of over 70 miles in a race against time, not an elf in a film. The father lay all of his cards on the table for the hope of the world to be born on the floor of a stable. Regardless of the circumstances surrounding, all who were around him bowed, and in their hearts they crowned him. His name, Jesus, crowned the Prince of Shalom, absolute and completeness. He's unchanging and unmovable. The child was given as he was the only one suitable. A bright star shone a light on the stage, framing the opening scene of this reality play, where a child was given the responsibility of the world, regardless of his age. The angels shouted, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men." Their praise was relayed on the lips of the shepherds as they journeyed to the stables, the Bible says, with haste, and dropped on their knees in the hay and let their worship display, while the animals around could only do the same. Wise men from the east traveled far from where they were to honor the king with gold, frankincense, and myrrh. That day an innocent lion was born, and the world adorned. What is a worthy gift I can lay before him? A gift that is worthy for the King of all kings, like placing your presents on Christmas Eve under the family Christmas tree. Without Jesus, what would Christmas be? He destroys yokes and removes burdens. He is our provider, healer, and a hope that is certain, with a grace without bounds and love without conditions. Freedom in his hands to free the captives from their prisons, like placing your presents on Christmas Eve under the family Christmas tree. Without Jesus, what would Christmas be? In honor for the King, we will worship at his feet.
Good piece. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah. Good piece. So listen, I really appreciate everyone being on tonight. And so we're going to move into our second hour. It's just about that time, just about 8. Is there any announcements real quick that anyone wants to make about something that's upcoming? If you have I'll give everybody a quick minute to do that. Start with anybody. Anyone have anything coming up that you want to announce?
Reverend Gadsden, tell us the details of the Kwanzaa Festival.
Well, thank you. So Kwanzaa here in Harrisburg is always early. We do it throughout Kwanzaa as well. But next Saturday, which is the 9th of December, we're having our annual Kwanzaa Festival here in Harrisburg. Any and everybody is invited to come down, please. And it will take place next Saturday from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. over at the Camp Curtin Academy. It's a school, and it's located at 6th and Division Streets. It'll be in the gymnasium, and we will have Sister Mafelda Thomas, the stilt walker and the extraordinary storyteller from Philadelphia, part of the Keepers of the Culture group and all that. She is international stilt walker and fashion model, by the way. She will be coming in early morning. We also have the Winneman African Dance Community. They'll be doing their thing as they always do, led by Lark Daniels. And the last time I saw them was about a month ago, and they were fantastic. We also have the ABW Productions fashion show that takes place every year with us. And that's Andrea Fulton, who just celebrated 30 years of her organization being in existence. And hers is more than just a fashion show. They do poetry, they do dance, they do a little bit of everything in it. And it's, just a spectacular. We also have a lot of vendors already lined up. They will be there to do what they do. I think Ro is going to be a vendor, by the way. Her
I
and
need
Maria
the form
Chow.
again. Can you send me
Say
the
it again?
form? Can you send me the form again? Maria and I are going to sign up for a table. I
Oh,
can't.
yeah, I sent it to you on Messenger a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope it's on Messenger. Yeah,
Oh,
because I
okay.
can send it to you. Yeah, so
Okay.
let me know if you don't get it though. But I got you no matter what. So okay, we got you. We also have we're gonna have poets, doing their thing. We have a children's corner. We'll be giving away toys for tots, and we got 1 million toys coming our way for that, and that's always nice. So anyhow, it's gonna be a nice day, and we're looking forward to it. And like I said, we do it every year. We've been doing it now for close to 30 years, quite frankly, here in the Harrisburg area. So, looking forward to that again. And I want to thank Nicole Wilkerson, who is our events coordinator, who does a tremendous job. Nicole comes out of Washington, D.C., a Howard University grad, and she has her own station, by the way, her own show and everything called Nicole is Making It Happen. So if you look on Facebook and find Nicole is Making It Happen, you'll see all the things that she does. So that's what's happening here. Also on the 17th of December, we're hosting outstanding poet and artist by the name of Yamonja Smalls, Dr. Yamonja Smalls, PhD, and she is a major force in the art world with a very Afrocentric art that is just outstanding, and she's an outstanding scholar, by the way. She will be here, and we're honoring 8 different women who are outstanding artists. I think, let me see, there's a couple of people. Is this somebody on here tonight that's being honored? I'm not sure. I got to think about that. But anyhow, yeah, so there's our flyer. And by the way, that flyer was created by Yamonja. You see her picture down in the right-hand corner. And you can see the kind of artwork she does. But that's from 2 to 4 on Sunday, December 17th. And the whole program will last from 12 to 4, actually, because we're going to have vendors there as well. And the vendors will be those ladies who are being honored. They'll be able to sell their books and all that good stuff and everything. And who are some of the people being honored? Let me see if I can read that flyer real quick. I think Sharia Ben, who's an outstanding, she created the Sankofa African American Theater Company. There's Andrea Fulton. I've just mentioned her. She is an outstanding, fashion designer and has that ABW Productions. Julia Mallory, outstanding poet and a longtime member of the Wordshop, and also she's written a book on grief, and she does a lot of grief workshops. Nancy Mendez, who's an outstanding artist, visual artist, and just tremendous in our community. Wendy Washington Noche Onye, who's just an extraordinary poet. Wendy's from, I think, South Carolina herself, and also from where was she living up in Roe? Was she up in some part of New York there? Was it? Yeah, I forget exactly where, but anyhow.
It's Rochester.
Say it again.
I thought it was Rochester, but I'm not sure. Can't remember.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank too. I know she lived there for a long time, but anyhow, she's an outstanding poet, and so we're glad. She also lived in Nigeria for some 5 years and has written some powerful stuff around that. Maria Chow, who I mentioned, will be along with Maria wrote a play called Hair Story, but she has a number of plays out. But she's also an outstanding poet as well as a professor, and so she, and Ro will be teamed up together. And then also this Christine Titi, who is from Africa, and she is an outstanding writer, period, and poet. But also there's a lady, who would I miss? Ro Brady. That's right. I think it's a person named Ro Brady. You may know her. She's an outstanding poet, novelists and everything else under the sun. And so we're so glad to be honoring Ro as well. These are women, all these women are distinguished, not just here in Harrisburg, but just as artists and people who have contributed mightily, to the culture. So we'll be honoring them. But anyhow, this is free programs. It's at the State Museum of Pennsylvania. And we do some 6 programs a year at the State Museum. And this is just one of them, okay? So anyhow, that's going to happen, and that's what's going on here. So let's get back to the business at hand tonight. We said it's a 100 poets reading. We're going to do this again next Friday, and then also on the 15th. So for the next 2 weeks, we'd love to have you come back, you read, something that you haven't read if you want to, and tell other people about it, other poets, other writers, whatever. And it doesn't have to just be poets. We have novelists on tonight, and they're reading some of the excerpts from their novels. So, just writers reading. And let's just say 100 writers reading, okay? That's what it is. But we're going to start our round robin again. And I'm just going to start again with Sister Sally Johns, if you have anything else you'd like to add to it. And I'm going to give you 5.
Okay.
Yes.
Not a problem. Everything is still from the book that I'm currently processing, getting published. So
okay,
I'll do something else.
Good.
The new information really made me think about the problems in the American healthcare system and its doctors. If I was suffering from epilepsy and had no clue about it, I wondered how many others were like me. If doctors fail to communicate with patients about underlying problems that cause them pain and anger, then where does our healthcare lie? It was very baffling to hear the true cause behind my seizures for more than 10 years. Bear with me 1 second. I'm squinting. I should probably change my glasses. I do apologize.
No problem.
Now, 1 second here. Find out where I was. I do apologize. Bear with me. Hold on. Okay, right here. I do apologize. 1 second here. Now, where is it right here? Right here. Okay. It was very baffling to hear the true cause behind my seizures more than 10 years. The incidents that kickstarted my epilepsy took place in the August of 1996. I was a passenger in a devastating car accident that inflicted me with brain trauma injury, TBI. The TBI led to a post-traumatic seizure and subsequently developing epilepsy. In my research, I found that individuals who encounter a seizure after 1 week of a TBI are classified under late post-traumatic seizures. 80% of the said categories are likely to have another seizure, ultimately resulting in epilepsy. Contrary, a seizure that occurs within 1 week of a TBI is called early post-traumatic seizure. Individuals who suffer early post-traumatic seizures are less likely to develop epilepsy, as only 25% of these individuals have recurring seizures. My personal injury with epilepsy began 3 months after the accident with sustaining a concussion. This concussion incidentally caused me to enter a state of absent-mindedness, staring into space for a few seconds. When I woke up later, I was in the emergency room with extreme body trauma, 2 black eyes, along with severe head pain, loss of coordination, and a bloody nose, all of which lasted over 72 hours. No one in the local community knew about my medical condition, let alone knowing how to properly treat it. The lack of expertise, knowledge, especially during those times, caused my condition to worsen. The hospital staff, bear with me, I'm squinting, I do apologize. The hospital staff, instead of doing a complete and full neurological exam, decided to release me after performing a CT scan and an MRI. Both of those scans are medical imaging methods used to create image of the internal body to help diagnose various medical conditions. However, this does not include all TBIs. These medical devices can help healthcare providers rule out some serious brain injuries that require immediate medical and surgical attention, but it is often difficult to detect epilepsy. The hospital mistake of releasing me early proved to be a very devastating one, and one that caused me a lot of pain. I'm still left wondering whether or not they were able to recognize any brain trauma or root cause of such a severe bloody nose. According to studies, head trauma injuries can cause seizures in 1 out of 10 who end up hospitalized after suffering a TBI. Most individuals have a seizure in the first few days or weeks after injury, while some individuals can have it months or even years later. Around 70 to 80% of these individuals can return to their daily life activities by taking regular medicine for a prescribed time. The prescribed time can vary according to different people and can even be lifelong. In rare cases, seizures can make it harder for a person with a TBI to function properly in society. It is also recommended for some to consider undergoing surgery to remove part of the brain causes the seizure. If surgery is not a viable option, then others can decide to have a surgery of the vagal nerve stimulator, and that goes under the skin. About 1/3 of the people with epilepsy do not respond well to anti-seizure drugs. Vagal nerve stimulator helps reduce the seizures in such cases. The VNS device stimulates the vagal nerve with electrical impulses. This nerve runs from the lower part of the brain through the neck to the chest and stomach. A thin wire is threaded under the skin, connecting the device to the left vagus nerve. When activated, the device causes electrical signals to be sent along vagus nerve to the brain stem, which then affects the brain. The right vagus nerve isn't typically used because stimulation is more likely to affect the function of the heart. The difficulties for individuals with TBI may arise due to the range of reasons, including new hormones, thinking, moving, finding a job, participating in certain types of work, remaining stress-free, and facing discrimination. Epilepsy and its medication can have an adverse effect on an individual's physical as well as mental well-being. Some people's memory and concentration are also affected due to the weakening of their ability to think in, store, and retrieve information. Yeah, bear with me one second. Go ahead.
Just time, okay?
I have photos of what's going on, and then you just have to scroll down. So,
okay.
Oftentimes, individuals are considered about change. They see themselves as well as the change in others' behavior toward them. An epileptic incident in the presence of peers or others can lead to those peers viewing that individual differently. This is mainly due to a lack of understanding or misconception about the illness stemming from fear, discomfort, or ignorance. Seizures are caused by sudden and uncoordinated changes to electrical signals in the brain.
Hey, Sally, I'm gonna stop you right there, okay? Let me just stop you there for a minute, yeah, because we're just trying to hold everybody to 5, okay? But I appreciate it, and we're gonna get back to you and make sure we know more about your book and everything. By the way, Rose is the editor, and she does some things, and also, you, of course, you know Queenie, right?
Queen, I don't know. No, I do not. I don't know anyone here.
Okay, well, then we're gonna make sure you introduce you to Queenie too. Yeah, because that's important work you're doing. And I would happen to work in the hospital every day. I work as a chaplain and everything. And so and you're here in Harrisburg, so I could introduce you to some people at UPMC who may be very much interested in your work, okay? And so we'll talk more. Yeah, we'll talk more after this. I'm gonna go down to Jim Rothline and ask Jim if he has something that he would like to add within the 5-minute structure there.
Yeah, hold on. Okay. All right, gonna have to my phone's on the blank, so I'll just have to find it in my book.
Okay. We can come back to you, Jim, if you want a little bit more time.
Just give me a sec here.
Sure, okay.
All right. White flag in the face of trial by combat. She gave him nothing but intended silence akin to a mushroom cloud explosion. Open doors and corridors to a guillotine for the heart. How he fears to venture once more should another woman beckon him. Roxanne and Juliet, in their respective lives, sees her want to be Cyrano, sees her want to be Romeo, as Eric behind his phantom mask. The nickel of years they spent together, tarnished, turned to blackened stone. Man Medusa to her Dracula of the soul, raised her cane once and done, he cowered, and they went their separate ways. His jester's proposal to a rose, a cosmic joke for a cosmic fool, confirmed by the way she really said no. His can-crushed self wandering wastelands, realizing how much he never loved her. Bare bodies under the bed sheets, reading each other like Braille, so she left and came back, as he morphed, more a monster towards her, full of wolfsbane and minefields at midnight. Ever a lonely road, ever a lonely road, ever a lonely road he's too weary to walk, and so he waves a white flag rather than face a future of further futility. All right, end of piece.
All right. Okay.
And
Appreciate you, Jim. You had a little bit more time if you'd like to do something short.
yeah, this one is one I'm considering adding to a manuscript for my next book.
Okay.
And it's more of the preface to everything. These poems as banshee wails, midnight metaphor and meter of razor blades, of leeches, bloodletting my lines on the page. A little Sylvia inspired, 211 and Elm Street, read like a roadmap to Inferno's vestibule, by a world lost in the new moon's glow that longs for the goat's side of the throne. And the poet worries he's sending them there.
All right.
In the poem.
Appreciate you, Jim. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to, just in the interest of time, move on to Ro Brady, if you don't mind.
Sure. This one's called Tightrope. I spent the day stealing sideway glances at the folks that lived their lives on tight ropes, putting their fragile steps in front of them on cracked sidewalks of pain and distress. There was the blind man in McDonald's who had the spirit to share his fries, sitting across from the vigilant young brother who never had a problem with the white police officer. He told his story about how his mama said it didn't have to be this way. It was just his opinion about why the young sisters didn't see the lines he was laying down as real. They came in a group of 5, stealing looks at the pretty young thing that didn't pay them no mind, because her mind was on the baby she wanted to leave at home with her old man that told her to hush and hustle. Hustling was his middle name. He'd learned to hustle money out of other people's pockets since the day he saw poor and refused to be broke. Broken-minded and stone-cold crazy is what they said she was. She sat down and spoke to the invisible voices that dotted in and out of her head. He had a head for stretching money. He counted out the last few dollars that couldn't buy happy, let alone a meal. They had come and bound together, hoping the business deal would be sealed, but instead things fell apart and they left with empty pockets and plain money on the table. She was a Black woman who was tired of being described as strong. She pulled full-bodied and bold up to all the possibilities. When they told her to step away from the table, she left them holding the empty hand and a full house of microaggressions and awkward compliments that she refused to accept. He looked down at his legs and refused to accept that they didn't work, and neither did he. The bullet of the gangbanger stopped him dead cold. Round and round we go, down and down we go, balancing on the tight rope.
Good piece, Ro. Good piece. Yeah, a little bit more time. Did you want to add something?
Yeah, I have a short one.
Okay.
My heart, you know, its tender spots. You have seen them naked and vulnerable. You have used it for your pleasure and found delight in watching the bruised blood of anguish pour from its core. My spirit has finally been broken and ripped from its resting place, where peace once resided. These things you didn't have to take from me, I gave them wholeheartedly, without resistance. That's what they were made for. Sincerely, the broken-hearted one.
Very good. Powerful. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Ro. We have Dr. Dan Snowden's joining us too. And I think,
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, real good. We'll be getting to you, Dr. Dan. Thank you for joining us, man.
Sure.
I think Sister Linda like your reading your Ro.
Yep.
All right, you're muted right now. That's good stuff. Well, let's go to Laura. Sister Laura, I'm gonna come back to you. If you got 5, and Then, by the way, Dr. Dan, we're doing readings tonight. Everybody gets 5 minutes, and we're doing a round robin, and so we'll be getting to you as well. Okay. All right, Sister Laura.
Thank you. This is a poem.
Oh, you went on. Oh, did you go? Okay, I see you now. I'm sorry, I didn't see you first. Go ahead.
All right, this is a poem from my next book that will be entitled Skin Color Black.
Can you make your microphone a little bit louder, Sister Laura? Can you get closer or louder or whatever?
All right, can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but you good. Mm-hmm.
All right,
yep.
Sounds good, sounds good. So this poem is from is an excerpt from my next book, and this poem is entitled Not Made for the Ghetto. Standing on the balcony overlooking the trash-littered streets, it was hot and muggy about high noon of a June day summer heat. Cars moving to and fro, kids below walking, talking with no place to go. I looked around unhappily and observed my scene of trash, graffiti, a stench in the air, almost no place clean. My heart aches at the sight. I feel trapped and see no end. Truth be told, I don't even know or remember where it ever began. A horn blows, a voice screams, someone with words disrespected. The interjection of disruption spoke of a dream once rejected. But I know I'm not made for the ghetto. I can feel it in my soul, because I refuse to let social economic keep control of my life, my flowing river, all of my tomorrows in hand. I'm going to reach my level, crash out of these bars, be more than I am. See, I'm not made for the ghetto, this black hole of nothing. My spirit has told me I can take the ands and turn them into something. In responses to my declaration, the wind ruffles the scattered litter about. But no matter how hard the ghetto tries to make me stay, from this place I'm getting out. The fallacy of this ghetto reality is the only real truth existing. Because this life, the Black American dream, is mine, my friend, don't get it twisted. I may be on the corner of negative Black stereotypes in No Way Street, but I'm determined to navigate my way to where success and a promising future meet. I'm not made for the ghetto. Never believe the lies circumstances told. Be more, see more, handle my business before time gets old. Because I'm moving, grooving, ghetto hopping, got goals to reach, and that's why I'm not stopping. My actions and reactions got to move fast because I'm thinking it's the only way I can outrun my ghetto past. Because I look left at knives and I look right at guns to see all with silent prayer. That from my balcony high above, I see the gang wards feuding there. No love, no pride, no jobs for them, a future long foretold. A reprobate mind that has accepted their life made for the ghetto. I spin to turn and walk away, mama out to be getting home again. Except I won't see her until next morning when from my bed I'll rise, and then I'll promise I'll say to myself this truth right now and wherever I may go, to declare that we're not, you're not, I'm not made for the segregation ghetto. And that's the end of that.
Yeah, good
The
piece.
second poem is entitled Black Love. Black love, oh black love, a bond that shines like gold, a love that's pure and true, a story that's never told. It's a love that's steeped in history, a love that's fought through pain, a love that stood the test of time and never lost its flame. It's a love that's deep and meaningful, a love that's unafraid, a love that's resilient and never fades away. It's a love that's found in family, a love that's found in friends, a love that's found in community and never ever ends. Black love, oh Black love, it's a love that's meant to be, a love that's strong and powerful and sets our hearts free. Black love bond. That's the second reading. I have
Nice,
time for
nice.
another one.
You know, you were down to less than a minute, but go and throw it on us. Go ahead.
This one is called Deep Water. This is a little long, so it may go above a minute. So I will wait.
Do this then. Hold your thought. We're gonna do it near the end of the program, okay?
Sounds good.
We're gonna get you back in there, and I see we have been joined by Lizelle Powder. Lizelle, how you doing?
Hi. Good night.
Hey,
Good,
Lizelle.
Good night, everyone.
I'm glad you're joining us tonight, Lizelle. We're doing a round robin. Everybody's getting 5 minutes, and so I'll get back to you, and I'm gonna keep this rolling so we can keep the time going. Neil Owens, brother Neil.
Yeah, I read this poem before. It's been tightened up a little bit, little revisions to it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do it. It's called A Glimpse of Light. The many friends don't lessen the loneliness. The brain hosting sleepless nights amidst a troubled soul pawns me. The walls of misery confine me to this actuality. But in the bowels of my mind is a glimpse of light, a light that shines the hope of tomorrow, a light that strengthens me in the self-doubt, a light that removes the darkness covering my mind. This glimpse of light has inspired my soul to remove the many sleepless nights. Worry and fear no longer have power over me. Death is only the beginning of a new life, because faith is now in the vanguard. In that glimpse of light, I found reality surpasses actuality, because reality is not only yesterday and today, but tomorrow too. I now live my life for what will be, remembering what has been and knowing what is. That's it.
Right. Good piece. Did you want to advocate your time, or did you have another piece for us?
I yield my time to someone else.
Okay, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Good piece.
You're welcome.
Sister, I hope I'm saying it right. Hagar, is she still with us?
No, I think she had to leave.
Okay, real good. Then we're gonna go to my sister Jacqueline Cox. Listen, Linda. You're muted right now, okay?
I had to get it off of mute, y'all. Y'all
Yeah.
know I'm trying.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read another piece from Mountains Can't Rise Without Earthquakes.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a poem going into the another chapter. And getting it together for you guys. I know I should have had it up, but this thing knocked me out.
You're all right.
This poem is called Earthquakes Rise. In a world full of hate, where things ain't fair, there was a baby born, an earthquake in the air. Light-skinned and mixed, a beauty so rare. But the nurses and doctors, they didn't even care. They gave her mama a hard time because she was dark, judging by her skin, leaving a painful mark. But her daddy stepped in, made a promise so strong, said he'd protect his baby all her life long. But he broke that promise, left a hole in her heart, leaving her shattered, torn apart. In the midst of chaos, she longed for his love. But her daddy turned his back, a wolf in sheep's glove. But listen up, strong soul, don't you despair. You're worth more than they say. You gotta be aware. In the face of rejection, rise above the fight. Embrace your heritage. Shine your light so bright. You hold the power, the voice of change. Breaking down barriers, ain't nothing gonna be the same. Don't let the broken promises define who you are. You are forced to be reckoned with. You are forced to be reckoned with, a true superstar. So embrace your truth, your bright racial grace. Let your spirit shine and leave a powerful trace. And as you heal and grow, find peace in your soul. Your story ain't over. It's just on the new road. So keep pushing forward, never back down. You're a symbol of strength. You wear that crown. You're the earthquake, baby. Don't you forget. Your journey's just beginning. there's so much to be met. I was born in 1989 at Cook County Hospital in the heart of Chi-Town. I was number 4 out of 5 kids born in the Union of China in Chico. When my mother China gave birth to me, my grandmother Fanny was there, just like she was for all my mother's births. Now, although she never knew what to expect out of China, given her and Chico's on and off again relationship, she knew she was the only mother figure my mom had, and she would always support her. Now, when my mom had me, I came out white as a sheet. And I am told that the nurses and the doctors were completely shocked and were rude to my mom, insisting that my dad must be white. Through the doors of the hospital, my grandmother heard my mother arguing with the nurses in the nursery when she went to pick me up to feed me. My grandmother barged in and gave them a piece of her mind. That baby is the grandchild of a white rapist from Mississippi named Carl Lindsay. And if you don't believe me, then whoop my tail. But you're going to give my daughter-in-law my grandchild. Or it's going to be some well-whooped white folks in here. Boy, if them people didn't unhand me with the quickness, tears flew down my mama's face with frustration and anger. But at the same time, gratitude for my grandmother. That was the first time she witnessed Fanny take up for her. And that created a bond between them that stuck forever. And I'm going to end it there, unless I got a little more time.
That's good. You do have a little bit more time, about another minute.
Okay, I can finish this up in a minute. Right. Maybe that's why no matter what my grandmother said or did to my mom, she never disrespected her back. Chico rushed down the hospital halls, arriving super late from work. His eyes were glossy, and my mom China knew what time it was. My grandmother was still in denial. She could not accept that her baby boy was hooked on drugs. And as China handed little me over to my daddy, his eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. We're going to name her Jacqueline Smith like the Charlie's Angel, because she's my angel. That name stuck with me not because of my dad's infatuation with Jacqueline Smith, because my mom's only sister name was Jacqueline too. And as my dad held me close in his arm, he looked in my eyes that looked like his, and he promised to always be there for me. A promise he would never let anything happen to me. Boy, did that promise break so fast. I know his intentions were good. I know they both wanted to do the right thing by their children. But a lot of times, generational curses are harder for some people to break. Harder for some people to keep. I always looked at my dad as someone so strong and powerful. His words were always so profound. And as a little girl, I knew I could count on him. But what I didn't know was that he was so broken himself that he couldn't possibly avoid breaking me too. And I'll end it there.
Very good. Thank you. Very good. Powerful, powerful. Dr. Dan Snowden, I know you joined us and glad to have you on, man. We're doing 5 minutes. Give us what you got in 5, okay? Dan, you may be muted. We may have lost Dan. If we did, I'm going to call you up.
Yeah.
Is Dan still there? No, I guess not. Okay, Lazille, let's see if we can give you 5 minutes.
Okay. You have to read the 3 in 5 minutes?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You can read as many as you want, as long as it's 5 minutes. Okay.
All right. This one I wrote, it's called Open Doors. I can't understand why my doors was left open. I wasn't expecting anyone because I thought I was strong, but somehow visitors came in. They didn't have to knock. They made themselves comfortable inside my mind. I lost my self-worth and depression became my friend. I was tired of seeing low self-esteem. Every time I tried to close that door on her, she came with something new. But brokenness showed up too, with nothing but pain and grief. But then there was the nosy neighbors. Those doors were open too. Pride, self, jealousy, envy, lust. As they held their nose in the air, as they entered another level next door. I tried so hard to close my doors, but the elements kept pushing me straight down to the ground. But that's not the end of my story. I still got some fight in me, and those doors will be closed forever.
All right. Uh-huh.
Next one is Battle of Self. The silent night that wakes up the mind. It cannot sleep. It wanders, the attraction that walks in as the battle begins. Shut it down, don't let it get up. But it's up. Too late, it's already filled. The mind consumes, it leads, it comes and goes, up and down, in and out, left and right, east and west, north and south. It's all about. Self loves self. It cries and dies, while a hunger searching the mind. Self speaks out rude and disobedient. The mind is awakened by an open door where she runs free. She dwells in murky swamps and lakes that drowns her soul and pulls her in. Self realized her mistakes, trying hard to run. The mind, herself, the self, can't be free, seesaw, tug of war, because she walks the narrow lane. As she howls in pain, she loses the battle. Just bury her, leave her there. See if she will come back to self. But the mind is stuck as the fire burns her soul.
Right.
The other one is Between the Sheets. The love never leaves the bed. It's another, then another, then another, then another. They all leave their trademarks, whether matrimonial or otherwise. Between the sheets, time for bedroom talk, as the others join in, paying attention. Some things may be different, but it's the shadows that stand in line. It's love between the sheets, where secrets unfold, everyone hears. The soul tides of captivity, trapped. The fire burns as souls entwine. They unwind as they bind together with the other souls, the other misfits, the other breakups, the losers, the criers, the diggers. Yeah, they hang around. Hearts being torn, love is gone. Friends of friends, they comprehend. They hide the secrets till the last laugh ends. No cares who is hurting, who is sad, who is lost. The shadows don't speak. They are afraid to sleep. It's another man, or woman's bed. You might as well just step inside. You're already here, so enjoy the ride. That's it.
Right. Got it in there. Thank you. Lizelle, tell people where you're from originally. Hold on one second, please. Lizelle, tell us where you're from originally.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, and tell us what name of your book and how can it be found?
Welcome to America. It's on Amazon.
Is that poetry?
No, it's a story. It's it really was supposed to be a story of my trials coming here to America, but I turned it into a story. Okay. So it's basically with a Trini woman. Her husband was living in the States in the Army, and when she came up, she got to realize he was having an affair. He became very abusive to her, and they went through a whole lot. She got he hurt her so bad that she ended up in hospital.
Okay.
Coming down to the end, basically, he got to find out that he has AIDS and he died at the end. But she forgave him and stuff, and she walked away with what was his, so.
Right. All right, appreciate it. Thank you so much for reading. I'm glad you're here.
Welcome.
Dan Snowden, I heard your voice. You still there, Dan?
I'm here. Yep, I'm here.
Very good.
I'm
So
here,
Dan,
right?
I'm gonna give you 5 minutes as well, if you don't mind, if you can go now.
All right.
Dan Snowden,
You
huh?
right?
Uh-huh.
All right. I'll just do a few signature pieces here. The first one called the environmental phobias, which actually has a few acronyms in it. The need to preserve the environment, the lengths that some people will go to prevent any type of development from encroaching upon nature's show. However, there are many persons out there who would pull out all the stops. These are the environmental phobias. For the record, all are tops. First, there are the NIMBYs, or the not in my backyard types. These are the best known phobias and the ones that get the most hype. Next on the list, we have the bananas. Build absolutely nothing anywhere near anybody. This is a flat impossibility, which could just wind up infuriating most everybody. We also have the caves, citizens against virtually everything. These persons do mean well, but fall far short of accomplishing anything. Last, there are the Lulus, locally unwanted land uses. These depict things rather than people and tend to bring collective refuses. Environmental phobias are not all bad. They just need an opposite partner. When sound cooperation takes place among these, all parties may end up the smarter. So everyone get that?
Yep, you can keep going, Dan.
All right. Okay, I'll do the next one here. It'll be another signature piece. We call it, I'm looking for the one I'm known for here. And here it is, the groundwater conspiracy. This is the first case I had when I started working for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The groundwater conspiracy. There exists a resource called groundwater, which for many is out of sight and out of mind. Yet it feeds our streams, rivers, and oceans, making its importance easy to find. Since groundwater flows beneath planet Earth through rock formations of various kinds, it can pick up elements and compounds that are both natural and from man-made finds. For me, I had once worked with groundwater as applied to waste management sites. The resource was assumed to be damaged and was the subject of quite a few fights. So soon I became the target of blame from citizens who were somewhat enraged. The landfill was said to be leaching as I let the facility's owners engage. Thus, I was forced into action, assuaging the fears and pretensions, addressing this groundwater conspiracy, which had formed from misplaced intentions. Long story short, I was successful in getting the masses to come around by proving the things in the groundwater were natural and not at all landfill bound. Thus, the said groundwater conspiracy was resolved with some solid fanfare, but took extensive understanding and a really sound measure of care.
All right. And you had time for one more, Dan.
All right, yeah, sure. I'll do one more for you. I want this, since I'm going to keep it in the environmental mode here, what I'll do is just go to my last one, waste management. Yeah, waste management done right. That's the perfect one. Okay, waste management done right. Humanity creates all types of waste that occur in many shapes and sizes, yet the management of these substances takes much effort to earn any prizes. Waste management is by no means easy. The task requires sound execution. As such, when waste receives utmost attention, their stages are set for evolution. So what steps are taken to manage waste? A good starting point is generation, where wastes are initially created throughout each and every single nation. Since there is a real need to manage waste, making less of these works well any day. This simple concept is called reduction, the first waste management stage every way. Some things are called waste after a short time when their useful lives are deemed ended, yet many items have second chances for reuse as innovates intended. Some materials have a special trait, keeping their substance while changing forms. Paper, plastic, glass, metals, organics are recyclable following the norms. But all waste management options are spent, reduced, reused, and recycled as well. The small amounts of waste still left over are slated for final disposal, do tell. Thus, the varied steps in waste management paint a vivid picture with sharp insight. Waste management more integrated now qualifies as waste management done right.
All right. Appreciate you, Dan. Dan, where you from originally?
Originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I moved out to Harrisburg in 2000.
Okay.
And I've been working for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania ever since. Well, before that, but I mean, that's what brought me here.
And you're back and you are a scientist, is that right?
Well, more of an administrator, but I do employ the scientists from time to time in my work.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on tonight, man. As always, appreciate you all. And so I'm going to ask Brother Chris if he'll step in one more time and give us another video. I know he always brings up some powerful videos, and then we'll take time to do a little, getting to know each other more and talking and that kind of good stuff. Good readings tonight. Brother Chris, are you prepared to do another video with us?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second there.
Sure, take your time. Okay. So don't forget, folks, that we're on every Friday night from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. right here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. And we hope that you'll join us. Okay. Here's a video.
I celebrate Kwanzaa because it was created for my people to wake up and embrace who they are. People like me who bears the responsibility to wear this beautiful melanated skin you see. It was created during a time when we was fighting for rights and equality. For hundreds of years of slavery made us lose sight of where we come from and who we are. African brothers and sisters with a lost culture. Kwanzaa is a way to connect back to our roots, back to our motherland, and the beautiful culture she wears so well. Kwanzaa means first fruits, which brings in the new year. 7 days to learn 7 ways of life. Funny how 7 usually relates to heaven, and Kwanzaa shows you heaven on earth and how it's supposed to be obtained. You have Umoja, which brings everyone together, unity. Kuchichakalia, that causes us to wake up and take on the day, complete our goals, and make a way. Ujima, working together to get the job done. Ujama keeps the money in the family, growing our communities as one. Multiple streams of income. Nia reminds us why we are here and why we were chosen. Purpose. Kuumba, creativity, because we are creators and we create our own reality. Imani, speaking things into existence, calling on the things that be not as though they were, because we believe it will. Faith. So Habarigani, once again, tell me what's the good news, my friend. I'll tell you. It's red, black, and green. Say it with me. Red, black, and green. Such a powerful color group. So much so you can feel them as I speak them out. Red, for the blood of our ancestors and passionate love. Black, for our people and the pure protective nature, dark matter, yang, our mother. Green, for wealth and prosperity and restoring natural order to earth, nature's wealth. So gather all as we light the canard and feast together. Let us remember our ancestors as we pour libations. Oh, happy Kwanzaa to all the nations. Ashe.
So let's do a little feedback, talk back real quick here. We have about, I guess, a little bit more than 10 minutes. And just on that piece alone, what did you think? Give me some feedback. Anybody? What did you think of that?
I think it was definitely a creative piece there, and because it kind of reminded me of because that's writing about Kwanzaa is worthwhile, albeit challenging. But I think this video summed it up perfectly.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Anybody else? Comments?
I was going to say it would be fabulous if, the principles of Kwanzaa are celebrated this time of year. It would be fabulous if we could remember those principles and celebrate them all the time. And I think that was a reminder, of those principles. It just reminded us of what Kwanzaa was about.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Ro. Any other comments? Anybody? I'm talking about the video itself, the presentation itself. Anybody want to comment on that? Okay.
It's beautiful.
All right. Yeah. And
I
so,
like the video.
I'm sorry, Sister Laura. I heard Sister Sally.
So I'm sorry.
What did you say, Laura?
I like the video, and I like the fact that she integrated the music, and it really made it a more solemn and emotional piece for me. I would have liked her to integrate her photos throughout the video because I react better when I'm seeing the person. So I loved her voice. It was calming. It was soothing. The music really made it, intensified. But I would love to see some more pictures of her as well.
And so I appreciate. Thank you, Laura. Okay. Anybody else? And so the sister, I thought it could have been a good piece, but I tell you, I was agonizing over that piece because she was kind of slow, kind of low. And I thought, where's the power? She didn't give me any juice. But now, Laura, you thought it was nice and calm and soothing. I'm sitting up here like going crazy, ready to pull the little bit of hair I have out. I'm like, come on, sister, pick it up. Not that it's a bad piece at all. I just think that sometimes you have to, like, I listened to you all read tonight, and I thought you read with power. And I thought, wow, and I thought she was trying to, like you said, be smooth with it. But it was a miss for me because it was a little bit too low. Maybe that's just me, But I remember thinking, I don't know. Linda, what you think?
My people always taught me, you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. So that's why I think a lot of us was kind of quiet. But since you said it, put it out there, I kind of felt the same thing. Like everybody here, the piece was very strong. And even with the first video that I saw, I don't know if it was the first video of the night, but the guy before, his piece was really strong. So with that one, I mean, if it was a poem like about love or something like that, where kind of want to get you in the mood, that's one thing. But if we're talking about Kwanzaa, that message should have been conveyed more powerful than what it was to me. And I guess because of what it represents to everyone here, I just felt like that wasn't a piece that should have been zen, if that makes sense. Like what she was saying, those words and the words that she was using, she should have had more power, more depth in her words. Like I like the way, like Miss Lisselle, Miss Laura, Miss Sally, the way she was so passionate about what she was speaking about. Miss Rowe always come through, baby. Even Mr. Jim, everybody who read tonight, Mr. Neil, everybody who read tonight, they're powerful. Their passion, you could tell what they're saying. They mean it. They can feel it. They understand. They're emotional about it. She didn't give that to me. Like you said, I'm over here dozing out, but I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna.
And I don't want to be critical either, because again, I think, I celebrate all writers and poets and spoken word artists and all that. But sometimes I think, we do kind of miss the boat on our pieces. Me too, I've been over the years, I haven't been perfect, that's for sure. But boy, I thought for sure that she was going to pick that thing up or something. And I was agonizing, but that's just me. Okay, anyhow, and again, we're not here to be critical. We're just here to make observation. So one of the things I hope that more of us would do is, I like the whole idea, and I like what Laura said about showing more of the video of herself, or maybe just using more images, period, throughout the piece, because she showed, the setup, which is real nice, beautiful, but just different images to represent Kwanzaa. This is a piece by Malife Asante's son, MK Asante, and it's called Black Candle. And if you really want to see something that really gets you in the mood for Kwanzaa, check out the video called Black Candle. It's thorough. I mean, it's a long piece. It's not, some short little video. It's more like a documentary, but it's really well done because it makes you feel like, this person gets it, and it gets you pumped up, you know what I mean? And so, anyhow, okay. So enough of that. Who has done a video? Anyone else done videos at all?
Is it just for Kwanzaa videos or any other?
No, any video.
I did a video about 5 years ago teaching people about CBD hemp oil and how it helps with epilepsy.
Okay. How's that done for you? Did they respond to it?
A few people responded. I was asked to do it by an owner of a company. You can see it on YouTube. It's called Meet, MET, and then SALLY, Sally, CBD, and it's for a company called Herbal Active.
Herbal
Active, ACTIV, and Herbal is URBAL. And then you'll see me on there wearing a scarf with my hair down, doing it for them.
All right. That's good stuff. Good. Okay. Yeah, I hope that more writers will use the visuals. I'm listening to the storytelling tonight, and in my mind, I'm always visualizing, the poet, the story, whatever it might be. And so I hope that's a medium that all of you will somehow.
I actually did a few book trailers. I did one for Dr. Velma, and I did two for Mountains. And they're like maybe 45 seconds, a minute long, for my book, Mountains, and I give visuals, and I put my picture in there as well. So, and added, a little background to it. So maybe next time, if we have some time, I could play it for you guys. But definitely, I'm all about like doing book trailers and book reels and movie reels and stuff like that, because I'm another one. Like, I want to see, I want to visualize, I want to know. And I got a lot of great responses for it. I'm actually doing an ad on Hulu to promote my book, and I'm going to use that trailer to help promote the book. So it's very, very important to use visuals. And Miss Rose, she my friend on Facebook, so she know. And Miss Queenie, I love Miss Queenie. She the best at it. But I'm always like, I want you to see behind my eyes and what I've been through. So I'm a firm believer in visuals.
I listened to both Lizelle and also you, Sister Jacqueline, and both of you have powerful stories that you're telling that's very, personal, and you do unpack those both, in my estimation, extremely well. And I hope that maybe the two of you connect and talk a little bit about, that kind of thing, because that writing that all of you are doing, quite frankly, is very, it's very healing for somebody that somebody's gone through, who understands exactly what you're talking about. And so you're giving voice to their pain and their struggle, their recovery, whatever, and celebrate that. How many of you actually, with your books or your writings, you do workshops as well? You actually do a workshop that will, present your writings, but also help people to unpack some stuff. How about you, Sister Laura? Have you thought about that?
I have thought about it, but I work a full-time job that takes a lot of my time, but I will be looking forward to doing that in 2024, though.
Sounds good. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a vocational counselor. I help people with disabilities find and maintain employment.
Wow, fantastic. Okay.
Good stuff. I love it. All right. Love helping people.
Sound like you and Sister Sally got a little something connecting there, maybe possibility.
And as she was talking, I really identified with her, because one of my consumers does have epilepsy, and I'm working with her. So I definitely am right there with you, Sister Sally.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, that's just yeah, fantastic. Yeah. And that's his topic, by the way, here in the Harrisburg area, you know, we have a program called Life Esteem, and it comes on channel 21 early Sunday morning. So like 6 a.m. in the morning, but it's been on for, we literally been on for over 30 years. And so, you know, Sister Sally, let's talk. I'd like to talk to you about maybe coming on and exploring that whole issue around epilepsy and what families can do and the kind of things that, you know, that people are not aware of and how that might happen. I don't know if you're ever interested in doing that, but.
I would love to do that. My goal is to
Okay.
help educate and teach people. That's why I'm writing the book.
Fantastic. Well, I'll tell you what, call me after the program here. I'll give you my number and everything. And let's just talk, you know, and see what we can work out. Because we do tape and, you know, we have to set that up and all that. But that's a great topic. We need to talk about that. Now, Sister Lazille, you know, you have been on a lot. I know you kind of laid back. Lazille, by the way, is an award-winning painter. She's very good, by the way. And so she didn't mention that tonight, so I'm gonna mention it for her and everything. But yeah, so have you done any work? I know you talked about maybe doing workshops or a podcast or something like that around your issues. How are you doing with that, Lazille?
Getting workshops done, you said?
Yeah, have you done any workshops or a podcast?
No, I have to come out of my shell. I have to be more,
cool.
you know, I kind of I wouldn't say laid back, but I have it's not that I'm afraid of crowds. I just need to be, you know, out there, be more out there and take that bold step. So, you know, that'll be something I'll like to get done too.
Okay, and excellent. Well, listen, one of the things we're trying to do more, and I know we're running out of time here, we're going to be off in just a minute here, is to do more publishing too, by the way. So the next time we come on, and I hope that you'll all come back and hang in there with Sister Queenie, because she got it going on. And Queenie, thank you again for helping to spread the word and bringing some of the writers on tonight. I appreciate all that you do. And, you know, we just got to do more publishing. So we do have a magazine. Ro has a, you have like a magazine as well, don't you, Ro? Or are you still doing that?
Yeah, I'm working with Jenny Dallas right now for the Black Wall Street.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm the editor-in-chief right now.
All right, editor-in-chief she is. And then doing a good job too, by the way. I saw the latest issue, looks real good. So, you know, and I know it's just gonna be bigger and better. So keep up the good work. And you know, let people know anybody interested in getting in touch with Ro. You can go, how can they reach you, Ro, on Facebook or whatever? You still have it, you're muted.
You asked me something? Sorry.
Yeah. I couldn't get to the mute button.
Yeah.
You can reach out to me at rowritesforyou@gmail.com.
Ro writes, and that 4 is the number 4, right?
Row, ROE, writes, WRITES, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com.
I'm a client, by the way, so I highly recommend Ro, and she does great work. So anything. Listen, we're going to say good night. Again, I want to thank you, Jim. Thank you so much. Laura, thank you. Ro and Sister Jacqueline, thank you so much. Sister Nazil, Brother Dr. Dan Snow. And also, I know we lost Neil. Who else was on here? Let me see here. Okay. How'd you say it? Hagar?
Hajir.
Hajir. Sorry, Hajir. So sorry, Hajir. And also Lucille. Yeah, I think we got everybody. Laura, Jim. Okay, great. Sally, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Look forward to talking to you in just a couple minutes here. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. So, do you have my number?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, me,
okay,
Sally.
Sally, yes, Sally, yes.
Yes, I do. Area code 609 212.
No, it's the 717. I'm the 717 guy. Yeah.
I know. Oh, I do have your number. I called a few times. I thought you asked it. I have.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay.
I apologize.
So just call me.
Sorry.
Okay, call me as soon as we go off, and then we can talk about that show. Okay. Because I'm very much interested in that topic. Yes, indeed. And God bless you all. Thank you all so much, and hope that you know, you have yourself a blessed week, and that we'll get together again. All right.
Okay.
Good night, everybody. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Right on. All right.